Hi everybody, Lynn Cox here, clinical hypnotherapist. Coming to you from my car. I was at the stairs, but there were other people on the stairs. I didn't think they wanted to hear me talking into my phone. Anyway, I want to jump right into it. Anyone ever heard of this thing called social referencing? Really important. So it's this idea, I think we're all familiar with this idea that if a little child, like a toddler, falls, one of the first things they do is look to their mother to see what is her reaction to this said fall. If the mother, smiles, oh, you're okay, let's keep on playing. 9 chances out of 10, unless this child has seriously injured themselves, child is going to take mother's cue and carry on and play. If, on the other hand, the child sees the mother in horror, fear, terror, oh my God, really worried, the child's response is gonna follow that. So the social referencing, it's a way that kids learn how to interpret their environment, as well as cope, figure out who they are in the world, how to express themselves in the world, what's safe, what's not. But you know what, we do this social referencing all throughout our lives. And social referencing refers more to kids and how they learn. I think we have a lot of social contagion, which could also be considered social referencing. So how do you think about things? So I'm working more and more with women who have come out of violent relationships as adults, and then also overcome abuse as children. So your perspective can get really really shifted when you have those experiences. For example, if you're a child who is being abused and assaulted as a child, that's going to shift your perspective on how you perceive how safe the world is. If you're an adult who has experiences of being with a violent partner, that's also going to impact you. But you know what? We also take our cues from what and how other people say and react. So the messages we receive and how they react. I remember this one day I had turned on the CBC. Sorry, I turned on the CBC radio and somebody was being interviewed, and she was like, the intention was good. She was I think she'd been a professional or Olympic athlete, I believe in gymnastics, and had done really well at her craft and sport, and she was speaking out against abuse, sexual abuse coaches with athletes, because there are a few sports where that's unfortunately been the case, and predators seeking out children as coaches. But one of the things she said, it rang in my ears and burned, and it basically, the message was that this happening to a child ruins them forever. And I almost gasped when I heard her say that, because I thought, you know what, this is an awful experience, but people can recover from it. And although this person's heart was in the right place, and she was trying to raise awareness of an issue that's really important, and abuses that should never take place or happen to children, when I heard those words, that this is something that ruins a person's life forever, I just thought, I sure hope there aren't that many people who've had that experience who are listening to this who believe what she said. And things like violent assault and physical abuse and sexual abuse and all of these things are horrific abuses to have happen. And but it's like, what do we believe about that experience, and what the prospect for having a happy life where you feel good about your life and in control and strong and can have deep, meaningful relationships and be discerning and make good decisions. It's important that you really pay attention to who you listen to and what you hear. And a message like that being played on the airwaves, I do think, unfortunately, that might be a popular perception, that, oh my God, something like that is so horrible and it will ruin somebody's life forever. It's so not true. We need to be talking more about how we have our psychological immune systems, how so much of how we navigate and deal with our life and our perceptions and our decisions is actually within our sphere of influence. We, that this kind of social normalization and social contagions and taking our cues from others in culture does not always work out in our favor. I think there's a lot of well-meaning people who speak about these issues. I just hazard people to think for yourselves and think to yourself too, if you've had a horrible experience. I've actually had people ask me before if I could work with them to erase memories they have. I can't work like that with people. But it's not so much the knowledge that you have of having had a past horrible experience, and it's not a wishing to never remember it. It's like, use that example. If I say to you, don't think of a pink elephant, that's the first thing that's going to come to your mind. You can't force these things out of your memory and your mind, but you can actually rewire and reinterpret how you perceive them, and then also how you perceive yourself within the context of those experiences. And there's no reason why that people doing horrible things to you when you were a child, or being in a violent relationship, that means that you are destined for having a life that's ruined, or being so messed up that you can't have relationships, or just feeling like there's something wrong with you that you can't make good decisions for yourself, or feeling too chronically scared and timid and weak, etc. Because that's a lot of the way that some people do feel at different times. So I just hazard, when you hear, empathy and understanding and awareness is important, but there are nuances to how these issues are considered. And I would outright reject any message that says that if this, then that. That is never the case. Everybody is uniquely individual, and our ability to make choices on our path and how we want to perceive life and who we want to be, within our lives and within the context, that makes all the difference in the world. So just be careful about this, the social referencing and or social contagions. Don't fall prey to that, because there's no need to suffer any longer than you potentially already have. And don't get caught up in that, in these ideas that any past experience is a sentence for a present or future experience, because you do have a lot of control over that. You may just not have seen it or heard it enough to believe it yet. And I wish I'd heard more people tell me that at different points in life too. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'll be on soon. Bye for now.